Alright, hello guys. I just got through cutting a little bit up there. That's the same day I showed you the log thing. I had to take a break. But the weed eater does not have enough torque. And I need something to cut through those thick vines of kudzu. But I can still use the weed eater in certain areas. And I'll try again either later tomorrow or early in the morning or something, I don't know. Anyway, back to the jobs. So, let's see, what's next? Alright, ABC. ABC Auto Auction. Running the auction one day a week. Making $35 a week. That's all I could get. So I went from a good paying job at Cars Recon to there. Alright. Which I thought would be more, at least 2 days a week, but they lied to me. Anyway. So I get there, and they keep trying to set me up. Putting me with people, talking about their meds and their own, I don't know, the one guy with tattoos said he was from Germany. He glued like a light bulb on the first day. I knew. Anyway, just from looking at him. They kept trying to put me into cars that the doors didn't open and the windows wouldn't roll down once the doors were shut. I knew when it would come time for one of those, so I wouldn't even shut the door. I'd just put my foot there and just hold the door. They put something in the vents, I believe, because every day after the auction, I would have sores inside my nose, right where it starts to get moisture. I even had to go to the ER once. It's like a spider bite, I want to say. Now that other dude, what's his name? It turns out he was there also. Jeremy. The guy's name I said before. Black guy. So not only was he at Vulcan running a forklift there in our department, but he was at ABC Auto Auction. So anyway, I believe that when they determined which car I was in and the rotation number, they would put something in them vents. And when the guys would drive through the auction, they'd put their hands in to feel the cold, see if it had cold air. I felt obligated to cut the air on. I don't know if it was microscopic pores, powder, no, what it was. But it always showed up the day after the auction. I've even got permanent scars from the bites or whatever you call them on the ridge of my nose. It'll never be the same as a permanent indent. Never had one since I left. Come to find out, the Hunter Williams guy, part of the Auto Recon. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. Auto Recon. Cars Recon is a pro, like an avid. He knows about insects, especially spiders. And when I said something about that on Facebook, next time I looked, his Facebook changed. Nothing about spiders. But there was another Hunter Williams, different guy. And he all of a sudden knows about spiders. But he wasn't the one on my friends list. I know that sounds Twilight Zone-y, but Hunter Williams got that off of his profile. So, anyway. No. He said something about, you're the one I seen you down there at that store hanging around. What store? You mean the store that Miss Spurgeon, Brenda, whatever her name is, works at? Is that the same car that y'all faked going around there? Check the tag. Bet you ain't got no video of it. See, they setting me up, guys. I know what they're doing. Anyway, that's good. It's backwards going. So you got to forgive this video, guys. I'm tired. Yeah. So one day I tested this theory out. Right before the auction started, I changed cars. And I thought they were going to allow that, but they had all their stuff set up. Before I knew it, we were playing musical cars. Guess what car I ended up in then? The same one I started in. Prove my point. So yeah, they were setting me up. Oh, and one day I got into a vehicle. It was a Cadillac SUV. Yeah, I don't remember now. I'm tired. Anyway, someone had busted somewhere in there, like a whole bottle of cologne or perfume, and I was in distress, guys. I could barely breathe. I couldn't, and so I finally ended up trying to roll the windows down, cut the air on, did everything I could, and I couldn't even finish driving through the auction. There's a gnat, sorry. And so one of the younger guys there at the auction said, "Well, you want me to drive it on through?" Yeah, sure. So I drove it on through. I'm walking out back towards the lot. I'm like, you see what I'm talking about? It was a whole bottle of cologne, perfume, or something in that car. Not just a spray, a whole freaking bottle, guys. And I was very much in distress. I thought I was going to pass out. Certain people with COPD cannot be around certain scents, but other scents is fine. Don't make sense, but yeah, a lot of senses there, right? All right. What was I going to say? Oh, so I said, you smell it, right? You see what I'm talking about? I ain't smell nothing. I said, dude, what do you mean you don't smell nothing? You don't worry about it. You just get up there and do your job. And you just, the young kid talking to me like that, boy. So I went off. I even called Daryl Walker and told them about it. And they didn't really do nothing. But anyway, someone had talked to him. So I guess when I was driving back through another time, he kind of come up to the car. And he was like, mentioned something else that, sorry about that. You know, he wasn't talking about. He had told somebody, I will apologize. So instead of actually apologizing, he mentioned something else so he'd be able to say, oh, I'm sorry about that. So he wouldn't lie after telling someone that he would apologize to me for the way he talked to me. You know? But that's what I think happened. Can't prove that though, but I promise you guys, they were setting me up for harm there. Now one time, I'm sure it was my fault. They were pushing me so hard when I got out of one vehicle. I tripped. And when I did, I could feel I think it was my left knee. It come out of the socket and went back. Yeah, I could feel it was gross. And since it did it once, it's just done it before or after that. But I hurt myself bad. But I still continued. Got a mosquito or something. I'm sure that was my fault, though. Might have stepped on a rock. I don't even remember, y'all. But, which I'm pretty sure wasn't their fault. They didn't mean for that to happen. But some of the guys there, behind the scenes, were trying to hurt me and harm me, guys. And I knew it. And then they started trying to put me with this Jeremy on his lane. And I told the lady was she worked for the police department in Trustful. Of course, she didn't want to tell anyone. She was hiding that. Now I know why. But anyway, she was like part of the person that organized the runs in our, in the bay. But anyway, what was I talking about? Hold on, guys. I'm trying not to leave anything out. Oh, Jeremy. So, I figured it was Jeremy and the black guy that was with Jeremy on the lane, who was a lane leader, stood out there and directed, and the other black guy would help jump off cars and do this and that anyway. Was organizing to hurt me, I guess. Okay, so here it goes. So I told this lady before that for personal reasons I would rather not work that lane with Jeremy. And plenty of other lanes, guys. She could have switched me with anyone. But finally, she put me with him again. And this was after the incident with the cologne or perfume, whatever it was. So finally, I typed up a letter for the next time in case she did it again. I had told her a couple times, please don't put me with him for personal reasons. She did it again. Finally, I turned this letter in, man. It just states, I feel, fear for my life. And I did. I felt he was connected to the ones who were trying to harm me behind the scenes, secretly. And I believe that if everyone got a fair lie detector test, in other words, they can't take drugs to fail it, they would fail it anyway, if you get the right two in there. See, that goes right along with a dream that I had. Younger black guy with the white girlfriend. I don't know where now I know where the souped up car comes from. Cars Recon. That was talking about them. What? Alright, I'm rambling. So anyway, I turned that in. And then the next time I went to go get my check, I was no longer allowed to go out to Cars Recon. Still just changing me in the lanes. She forced me to give him that letter, but she wouldn't listen to me. Now, Daryl Walker purposely made sure at that time you couldn't get your check until Friday around 2. So they knew what time around I'd be there. One day I walked in there, there was a black guy sitting down at the table, apparently, supposedly waiting for something from the lady at the desk at the window. When I walked in, I could read everything. It was wrong. He lit up like a Christmas tree, guys. Even though he wasn't looking at me, nothing was. I knew what he was there for. He was going to ambush me. So I figured in the elevator. All right. The second I got my check and started towards the door, she yells to that guy, "Hey, here's your thing. You got it?" So he was right behind me. The elevator's right outside the door to the left. Then you got long hallways. So he went out right after me. And I sit there. When he went out, I wasn't there. So he like tripped out. He hit the elevator door, I watched him, everything he did. Elevator door open, I wasn't there. So the elevator hadn't gone up and down. He didn't have time. He panicked. He went back inside, and I heard him say, "He's not out there nowhere, not on the elevator anywhere. What do I do?" She says, "Go ahead and go. He's got to go outside." So I watched him get on the elevator. All right. He went outside to his car, parked out front, close to the door, by the way. So instead of getting in his car and leaving, he starts pretending like he's looking at his car, touching the side of it, going all the way up and down it, and this and that. So I waited till his back was turned, looking at the car. And that's when I walked out and walked past him back to my car. See, he had planned on ambushing me on that elevator. Another time I went and got my check, got on the elevator. Now going up, guys, there was nothing there. But going down, there was a man on there smirking and laughing and making doing everything in his power to get me to speak or talk. But you could tell he was deviant in his motivations because, and no, not just because, and also, the elevator was full of cologne and perfume, not just from him, like someone had splashed it all over. We're talking about an excessive amount, guys. Never happened before any of this started. Never happened anywhere else I've come across, except when all this started going on. So, I took that as an assault. He just basically let me know, hey, So, anyway, so to try to get away from all this, I go to a place 17 miles or more away from here. There's 2 places to go. You go, you work hard one day, and you get paid that day. These are places that even the homeless off the street can go and work to get money to help themselves. It wasn't long I was messed with there, so they followed me there, guys. That's going to be in another video because this is already long. It takes a long time to edit these videos, so next video. See you guys in a bit.